We want to talk about the informed team in Europe as long as you keep them in their home stadium. Brentford, another win at home. They beat Newcastle 4-2. They've now scored 26 goals in 8 games at home this season. Bear in mind, this is a side that have only got 1 point on their travels in 7 games, which was away at Everton, where they probably should be taking 3 if we're totally honest. So, Brentford, Dave, beat Newcastle. And again, that area of the league that we talk about that's so congested features both of these teams, and their up and down form makes it so hard to know how to really talk about them. So let's start by giving Brentford some credit. 4 goals past Newcastle, another win. A great result for Brentford.
Oh, brilliant. I think when you take into consideration Newcastle's result against Liverpool midweek.
And Brentford against Villa as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Quick turnaround.
I think they've just gone under the radar massively, I think, Brentford this season, haven't they? In terms of, I think, people's expectations of them. I think I even actually highlighted them as one I thought might struggle, especially with, Ivan Toney's, him leaving and whether they will be able to replace the goals. But you look at the players that have come to the fore, Visser, I think Sade, especially the last 3 games. And Burma has just taken it to another level, hasn't he? Oh, absolutely superb.
He's excellent. He's so clinical.
Yeah, I think particularly their finishing this season.
It's
so
so
they scored
good.
some great goals, but in this game in particular, Burma's first goal and Visser, I thought they took their finishes really well, but I think they made it really difficult for Newcastle. I think, I think particularly in midfield, I think they forced those turnovers. And Newcastle, particularly when they went behind, I think overcommitted a little bit at times in this game. And Brentford, I think, in the transition were just absolutely devastating, and they really struggled with them.
Yeah. And this Brentford this week, they started this game without Mikhail Damsgaard, who I think has been one of their best midfielders this season. I watched him against Villa. I thought he was excellent in his moments. And yet they didn't seem to lack any creativity or steel in the middle, did they? Carvalho came in. He played after what's been a bit of a disrupted start to his Brentford career. And there seems to be options in that squad. They're not reliant on one man anymore, as we maybe could have said they were in the past. And instead, this unit is just working so well. So we're up to 7 wins and 1 draw at home now. Is it as simple as they've played some pretty favourable fixtures at home and some really difficult ones away, Dave? Because I think this Newcastle game is probably the hardest fixture they've had at home so far this season. Whereas away, I think they've played all of the top 4 and Villa. So that's not exactly an easy run.
No,
is that what it's down to, or am I being a bit harsh by even asking that question?
I think so. I think particularly, some of the away games have been difficult, but also I think they'll be happy to get them out of the way, and particularly the position that they're in now. That's for them to really kick on, I think, in the second half of this season, and probably have some more favourable games away where they've got an opportunity to take points from these teams. I think it's important not to be too disrespectful. And I think if you look at some of the teams they have beat this season, I think they've done superbly well. But yeah, I mean, you could see them being in the position they're in now, really. They're well within a chance of getting into Europe at the moment.